Hello, everyone. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I am the Bowmeister. Welcome back to Minecraft. Last time, got rid of another. We're getting closer. Got rid of another layer up top. Since I have plenty of dirt, in fact, I have a lot of dirt. We're gonna try and put away some of this hole. Dig for. We'll do this for 15 minutes. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, topic of consideration today: the wonders of the human brain. I promise I'm not getting deep, but more curious. It's curiosity that brings up to this. Because I've been thinking to myself over just the last little bit in between the recordings of this last week's and today's episode. For you guys, it's a week. For me, it's been like 10 minutes. I'm gonna drown. I drowned. Dang it. Well, thankfully, I slept in bed. And I gotta pick up a bunch of dirt. I do that to myself sometimes. I forget that, oh yeah, I'm digging. So, I forget sometimes that hang on. Used to, again, been so used to playing Final Fantasy 15 lately that, okay, those are fish. I'm like, man, that dirt went everywhere. No, it didn't. I was saying that I've got so used to the control scheme of Final Fantasy 15 that I have to adjust. See? Been playing 15 so long. Menu's touchpad. Ah, dang it, I kept doing it. But no, like, my brain doesn't shut off. Like, ever. I wish it did, but it didn't. And it gets to be problematic, too, because there's times where, like, I want to go to bed, like, really, 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 really badly. And my brain just won't shut off, so I get, like, no sleep, because my brain's like, yep, nope, hi, I'm awake, you're awake, let's go. Let's think about things. But my brain is very overactive. And I try to do too many things at once, and I end up, like, losing interest in everything. Like, for example, I'm a big wrestling fan. Been trying to keep track of... I've been just doing a little thing using CageMatch.net's website. You can cross-checking that with other facts and whatnot. Make sure stuff is accurate. And, like, I mean, that's a slow-going process. I can just work on that whenever. Find something that doesn't necessarily interest me right away, pull that out, work a little bit there. But there's also, like, certain things I want to, like, study, per se. And, like, it's not even, like, not even, like, humanly important things to study. Like, okay, for example, modern day wrestling usually follows some sort of formula, especially, for example, between using WWE, for example, the big thing that they do is that sometimes, you know, in between their weekly televised shows and their monthly they're monthly, even though it's like sometimes it's like 3 weeks between events. They'll have somebody come out on top on the weekly show, but on the show, so like on the weekly show, the person comes out on top. Cool. But after, like during the event or whatever, the other person comes out on top. And that's always been like kind of a fascinating thing for me. So, you know, I've started to study that. Now, going all the way back, I'm doing it with the Raw era shows. So far, my findings is that nothing's happened. Granted, I've only watched Raw started January 11th, 1993. Was the 11th? Yeah, it was the 11th. It's just after the new year. So January 11th, 1993 is the first Raw event. First major Raw event. The first match being Yokozuna versus Koko B. Ware, and the main event was Undertaker versus Damien Demento, and also had the first title defense. The Intercontinental title was defended between Shawn Michaels and Max Moon. But like a thing I want to study and it also helped me watch Raw too, early Raws, is to see just how often the trope of I best you, the week before the show, I best you in one way or another, physical, in match or in promo, promo brawl. How often do I get, or how often does that occur? Current findings, Royal Rumble 93, it doesn't occur at all. In fact, at least on Raw, the main match competitors don't even have any face-to-face interaction. I've watched the 11th and so Raw's episode 1 and 2, January 11th and the 18th, excuse me. The 11th, we get a promo from Razor Ramon in ring in the arena. And then the 18th, we get an in-ring promo by by Bret Hart, excuse me. Another feud that was focused on, another big title feud, the Intercontinental titles. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Shawn Michaels had a match the first week, and then he did an in-match promo over the weird phone system thing that they had early on, which was weird. I always found that rather odd. But that was a thing. Trying to find the matches here. Tag titles, we had Rick and Scott, but that was it. The Steiner brothers, wasn't even for the tag titles, it was just a tag match. But Rick and Scott had a match. Their opponents didn't, and I don't remember if that was because those happened at like Superstars or one of the other shows, because I know they were promoting at the time heavily, I think it was Mania? I think it was their Sunday show. Whatever, it just kind of had interviews that may not necessarily show right away on some main screens, whatever, main channels. Like Bam Bam Bigelow and Boss Man, that one not featured on Raw at all. Like I didn't see either one of those gentlemen on Monday Night Raw at all, or so much as even them mentioned for that matter. Okay, what's that there? Oh, up I go. We'll go back down with another fresh breath. And then, Zuna went in the Rumble. Like, we had the small little storyline with, Repo Man, taking Savage's hat. I don't remember if that ever gets resolved, actually, now that I think about it. And if it did, it didn't happen either. Again, mind you, original era for this, it was 88, 83. That's 5. Yeah, I was 5 years old when I was 4. Because I turned 5 in 93. So I was 4 years old. I barely remember watching any of it. Like, I know I was a wrestling fan, because one of my first memories that I can remember of being a wrestling fan was stealing my dad's VHS tapes of WrestleMania 4 and... was it Rumble 91? I think it was the 91 Rumble. Was it? And I just remember Dad had one of the Rumbles, and he had WrestleMania 4 on VHS. Because WrestleMania 4, which was this big 16-man tournament to determine the vacant WWE Championship. Check my time. Okay, 10 minutes. Yeah, for the vacant WWE Championship, they held a single night, 16-man, technically only 14-man, because both Andre and Hogan had a bye, because they were the ones fighting over the title, so they automatically got a championship bye. I remember borrowing those. I believe I don't remember if I was watching that particular age, but I want to say I remember very vividly when 1-2-3 Kid pinned Razor. And I was so excited because I'm not wasn't very big guy back in my day. So, it's just the little things that come into my brain oh, that'd be interesting. And it's weird things that I don't necessarily think anyone else would be interested in, but it piques my interest. I'm I'm gonna take a look at that and just let my imagination go with it. And that's just how it goes. Just how my brain functions. It's so weird. It's so different, but at the same time, I enjoy it. Like the other project I'm doing. What time? Okay, a few minutes. I can explain the other project. Using the database from cagematch.net, I'm going through each of their cards, starting from whatever one they've posted first to last. I'm only 1,500 cards in, I think. So it's going to take a long time because they have over 200,000 cards. Results listed. Excuse me, that one wasn't going to hold anytime soon. Ow, that got hurt. But, I'm trying to find, where'd superstars come from? Because one of my things I've always, has always in my head isn't what defines the world championship? Because a lot of, promotions have said, oh, this is the world. And is it, the title's changed hands? Is the title's defended? Does the title just have to be defended on foreign soil? Does the title, the title has to be held by foreign-born? You can do a whole discourse on the possible racism in WWE, because out of the 50-plus years in World Wrestling Entertainment history, there has been one complete African-American champion. That's it. They're thinking, The Rock's a multi-time WWE champion. He's also half Samoan. He's not, he's half Samoan, half black. He's not, 100% African-American. It's that's just an interesting discourse to me. It's why is it only that white, we got a Hispanic champion before we got technically Pedro Morales was the first Hispanic champion. So, we got a Hispanic champion long before we got a African-American champion. We got all this stuff well before, it's just some of the stuff is just intriguing to me. As a social studies, as a social sciences major, it's very intriguing to me. Some of the studies, why not? We're going to go back to surface so I can get more dirt in my thing here. Okay, cool. We're going to load up. And that's where we're going to end this episode here. Thanks so much for watching. Next time, we'll find another topic to talk about. And sorry if the video seems kind of squished. I'm still learning resolutions and all this other fun stuff. Otherwise, enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, I'm the Bowmaster. As always, I have been obediently yours.